Hello and welcome to episode 73 of Diamond Cast. Today, it's really, really hot. In other news.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like the first day of summer. And I didn't tell you this before we started filming because I wanted to leave it as an exciting surprise. But today is the first day that I have a fan. There we go, look at that. I really had to... Thank you. I really had to hold that back because you guys were going, yeah, we got fans on. I was like, yes! Yes!
It's cool when it does that to your hair as well, like where you had it just now, right? That's it. And it makes your hair even bigger, like...
Yeah.
Is that why it's like that today? Is it because the fan's been...
Could you start the fans, please? Yeah, so it does feel like today is the first day of summer officially in the UK on May the 22nd. But I think you guys maybe, because it's not hot here, because, you know, for me, anything over about 1 degree is get the fans on, get the sleeves off.
It's pretty boiling in London.
Oh, really?
Nowhere to escape, yeah.
It's about to be the hottest May since records began over this weekend, when the temperatures are going to hit a balmy 32 Celsius.
Nice.
Balmy or balmy?
Balmy. And also balmy.
But also balmy as well.
I thought the other one.
So what does I know what barmy means? It's just like mad, isn't it? But balmy, what does that mean? Balmy.
You've got to put some balm on because it's so hot.
Balmy.
Is that what it means?
Isn't it?
I mean, that would make sense.
Well, it most commonly describes weather that's pleasantly warm, mild and soothing.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so
Well,
maybe that's not appropriate.
Yeah, it's not appropriate. It'd be hot.
Well, no, so I had a friend that used to use it when we were teenagers, and ironically, so when it was really hot, she'd go, "Oh, it's a bit balmy, isn't it?"
Balmy,
Yeah, posh.
Perhaps you were using it incorrectly.
So, accordingly, you are wearing some more summery attire there, Nat.
I am wearing some
like
summery
that.
attire because it's warm, and actually it's balmy today. It's 26, but it's going to get up to... So for those of you who live in a country where it's not freezing cold all the time, you probably just think that this is normal weather. But for us, this is a very once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go out on the May bank holiday, because we have bank holidays weekend as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. It's a weird bank holiday because there's no real point for it.
yeah.
It's a random one.
Seem to be having bank holidays all the time now. Yeah. I notice them as a self-employed person. I notice them because I get annoyed because I can't do stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like, oh, I want to do this thing. Oh, you can't because it's a bank holiday
Because everyone
weekend.
else is
okay.
not workers.
Yeah.
Did you used to hate bank holidays as a child? I used to hate them. It was my worst day. I know we got the day off school, but you couldn't do anything else because all the shops were closed and stuff back then.
That's true. Yeah, so it was like another Sunday.
Yeah, but worse than Sunday because more stuff was shut.
Well, I guess it made Sunday more enjoyable because Sundays, I'm sure we've talked about this before. Sundays for me as a kid were this sort of nightmarish zone of, oh no, it's school tomorrow. I can't really enjoy it. Antiques Roadshow on the telly. Haven't done your homework. Like procrastinating by playing something but not enjoying it because you know you should be doing something else. But what the bank holiday would do is it would allow you to have kind of an extra Saturday, and then Monday would become the Sunday. So that was something that was good about them.
It's rubbish though because you can't go to like a theme park or anything because it's super busy. It's like the worst day to go anywhere because everyone else goes there.
So there just seem to be loads of them at the moment. And it just seems to be every other weekend. It's a bank holiday.
Yeah,
that's what happens in April and May, and then afterwards there's none for another
August, isn't it?
I don't know, 8 months or something.
August.
There's one in August, and then there's nothing.
Yeah,
they just stack them all up at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think they should split them up.
They should
evenly.
move this one. They should move this one to later in the year. Because I don't think there's any specific reason for this one.
They should move this one to Halloween, so we get a Halloween bank holiday.
That'd be cool.
That would be cooler, wouldn't it? Let's start a petition. I think about the.
I think it's already been petitioned. I think it's one of those things that I think some politicians in recent history were going to do. Spread them out more evenly, and as one of their policies.
I think you get all the Saints' days off. You get St George's Day off and St Patrick's Day off, and all the other ones.
Even if you're not Irish, but you can celebrate it because it's what's the United Kingdom, isn't it? So everyone should get
Yeah. I don't know what
things.
Scottish or Welsh or not, but them as
Well, actually, Ireland's a part of the United Kingdom, actually. So, but you should still get it off.
You still
because we
celebrate
St.
Patrick's Day in Northern
Patrick's
Ireland.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we should. As long as we are all in the United Kingdom, we should all have all the Saints' days off. We don't get any of them at the moment. America has Memorial Day
America's got loads.
on Monday, and then there's another one. There's another. They have different bank holidays to us, but they also have Monday off for Memorial Day. So we could just say we're piggybacking on theirs because I have no idea what it's for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There we go.
So the fans are on. It's summer. The sleeves are off. Well, that's normal.
No, I've got
And
sleeves. I'm going sleeveless.
sleeves are off, and
Representing.
Nat's in a very cool, summery, kind of quite. Is it like a '60s sort of vibe? I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to see the Lemon Twigs this week.
Yeah, they're good.
And so I've been in a bit of a 60s sort of vibe all week.
Yeah, they're a good band.
You definitely need, like, this coffee table book has to happen. The one of Nat's outfits, a different one every week. You'd be really good as some sort of action figure as well, because think of all the different
Yeah, I've
outfits,
always wanted
all the
one.
different looks.
I can 3D print
I could 3D
I
print
would-
you. Yeah.
I said you should 3D print some Diamond Black action figures, right,
Yeah,
that people
good
could
idea.
buy in the shop. I think that'd be awesome.
you. I could try that, yeah.
Vincent's going to be a relaxation figure, so he just, like, sleeps. That's his special move.
No, he's going to have his drum set, like a drum kit.
I know how to convert
and
pictures into 3D models, so I could try doing
He
that.
did Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I did Nicolas Cage, yeah. Yeah.
Well, exactly. So, but yeah, so with the action figures, when I was a kid, you used to get the figure, and like next to them would be their different like utensils, I suppose.
Yeah.
And also, if you will, and with the He-Man
Weapons of
figures, there would be a little book as well that would show how this character got introduced to the world of He-Man, which was really cool.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, we should do that. We should the figure, the utensils, and then the little story as
Have you
well.
seen the trailer for the new He-Man film that's coming out soon?
No,
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh,
is
that's
it?
really
Is,
good,
is it live action?
yeah. Yeah, it looks quite
Oh,
good.
nice.
Do you know who plays He-Man?
Oh, I don't know the guy's name. That's pretty cool.
It's not Dolph Lundgren, though, is it?
No.
Did you
The
like-
Masters of the
what did
Universe
you-
is wicked. The old one.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did
Yeah.
you think of that?
Yeah, that's wicked.
The
My best
1987.
friend, my best friend Kerry looks just like Gwildor, and so I always called him that. It was either Hoggle or Gwildor.
Gwildor, I always felt that Gwildor was because they didn't have the budget to make Orko, and Orko was a flying like familiar, whereas Gwildor was a sort of land-bound one, so it was probably easier to do. But from that film, there's this bit at the end where He-Man and Skeletor are fighting on the edge of a pit,
That's what-
and Skeletor falls down the pit, and He-Man then goes to help him, and He-Man goes, like to help him up, he goes, "It's over, Skeletor," and Skeletor goes, "Yes, He-Man, for you," and like tries to drag him back down.
It's awesome.
And this was a line that me and my brother would just use all the time, like in day in day out, whenever we possibly could on any juncture. And so as a consequence, that film has a special place in my heart because we
wicked
used that phrase in the same way that I'm sure you used the reference to Gwildor for many years as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good film, man. Have you seen that one, Natalie?
No, I haven't, but I
well.
would like to. I'm just looking up. So in this year's one that's coming out, Jared Leto plays Skeletor,
Oh, interesting.
which is good.
He's quite hit and miss, you know. See some things with him and he's wicked. And there's some things he's awful. So it could go either way. Ashley.
Yep. Yes, sorry. I'm looking
That's
at.
by reading about He-Man.
Yeah, no, I am reading about. So there's also Street Fighter, isn't there? A film about Street Fighter. It's coming
Yeah,
out.
that'd be fun.
And there's a second Mortal Kombat as well,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think
a
that
really
come out
good
already.
one for nostalgic.
Yeah.
Street Fighter, but the Street Fighter there was a Street Fighter film hitherto, wasn't
That
there?
one's awesome. Fucking guy
Right.
played M. Bison. It's fucking Gomez Adams. He's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, that's wicked. The 90s one is great. It's really cheesy.
We should have a
right.
cheesy movie watching
Yeah.
fest where
Okay,
we
cool.
watch all of these ones, and especially in advance of going to see the new ones.
Yeah. They're set pretty high
Well,
bars.
Interested to see what will happen with the He-Man film because I was a big fan of the Masters of the Universe
Yeah.
as a child. So what elements have they taken? What have they not taken? What have they developed? Because the whole thing was right, and this is like classic. The whole idea of superhero and real life persona, and this was Prince Adam and He-Man, and at least with Prince Adam,
That's
at
what I
least
like
with Batman, Bruce Wayne and Batman, there was an obvious disparity visually between the two. But and even to some degree, like Clark Kent and Superman, like Clark Kent would act in such a kind of hapless way that it was conceivable that he wasn't Superman. But Prince Adam and He-Man are the same man. It's really like
Just got less clothes on.
yeah, and like a bit more of a tan. That really is the only difference.
How does he do that?
What has
Like
slight-
Superman, right? Clark Kent takes off the suit and he's
By the power
got
of
the
Grayskull.
Superman outfit on underneath, right? But
Yeah.
you can't just get a tan.
No, it's magic.
Well,
Powers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Power Grayskull holds aloft his mighty sword,
Power tan skull.
Here we go,
and
it's like lightning burns him.
yeah, just like has like a it's in a solarium. Like, He-Man, how do you do this? But yeah, and then Cringer becomes Battle Cat, if you
Cringer's
remember.
great. I like Cringer, he's cute.
So I wonder if Cringer will be in this one,
Hope so.
or it might be something that is intriguing. What will they choose? What will they omit?
Interesting. Well, we'll be able to let you know in a future episode.
I'm
We'll do a review.
intrigued. I'm going to brush up on my He-Man knowledge before
Sure.
we have this episode, but I'm absolutely going to expect you guys to have a good debate about this when the film comes out. We can compare the two films.
They did something at the end of He-Man episodes, which I don't know if other kids shows did or if they still do now, where they'd have the moralistic
Yeah, yeah.
bit,
I like that
where there would be like a little story after the main event where there would be some sort of moral dilemma, and it would be like, and He-Man would be saying to like this kid like, Chad, why did you steal the Wing Raider? And like, the Wing Raider was like one of the vehicles. Like, man, because they dared me. And then He-Man would turn to the camera and say, kids, just because someone dares you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. It was really good. I learned a lot from He-Man, from the morals of Eternia.
Exactly. It's good. It's good stuff.
What do you think the benefits of having children's icons set moral standards are?
Yeah, well, I think that's what superheroes do in general. That's why.
They do, don't they?
Yeah, especially for like kids that don't have like a very good family life. It's a good good example to follow.
That's a good point, actually, because I guess superheroes do it implicitly by doing the right thing, and then He-Man is doing it explicitly by saying, "Don't do this thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if other kids shows did that. I wonder if they still do it now. Right in,
I don't
let us
think they
know.
do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think superheroes definitely had, because they all had some sort of like traumatic thing happen to them or something, quite unsettling that made them that. That's why they have the superhero origin story, right? So it's a story of overcoming something that was, frightening or bad or sad or whatever, like Batman losing his parents and going on to fight crime and things. And so it's all kind of showing, well, you can still do the right thing even if something terrible happens to you as a kid.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a good outline, isn't it? Because perhaps for people who were watching it as kids who did feel that they were in sort of difficult situations, it was like, well, that doesn't apply to me because I'm in a difficult situation. But yes, the example of Bruce Wayne being that happened to him, and yet,
That's the right thing.
yeah, nice.
Today we heard someone describe Batman as, what was it? A rich, was it a rich elite who goes around beating up poor people for profit?
He just
Clearly
didn't understand it.
missed the point entirely.
Interesting.
Well, no, because it devotes his life to fighting crime, doesn't he? He gets
he spends all of his fortune like
arguably Gotham doesn't get any better.
No. Well, yeah.
I mean, there's so many bad guys in Gotham. It must have the highest crime rate per capita.
Well, could you not say that he's maintaining the status quo? If it wasn't for him, everything would collapse.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's like holding back a large kind of like juggernaut of crime.
Yeah,
But-
and that's his destiny is to keep doing that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love Batman.
Imagine how much crime there'd be in Gotham then if Mr. and Mrs. Wayne didn't get killed.
Exactly. Things happen for a reason.
Exactly. Wayne Moore.
Right. What are we talking about?
We have we have some questions in light of events this week. So Claire has asked, just leading off from Adam very kindly sorting out the website and store this week because
Yeah.
apparently stuff went down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That went down twice.
would be
already.
interesting to see how much work really is undertaken that's not on public display, to everything from planning, logistics, merch, communication, and sundry. And then to add to Claire's topic idea, from Judy, to add to Claire's topic idea, please include the cost and challenges of touring. Many of us bats outside the UK are eagerly awaiting a Diamond Black tour, but we realise there are many expenses involved for the band, including travel. Also, I'm curious how bands manage travelling to tour locations once they get to another country. When Ben has toured with Sisters in the US, do you fly from state to state or use a tour bus or other ground transportation? And then Claire also adds, the reason behind my asking was the work on the website. We don't see or understand what is needed and required for a band to function away from performances and record releases, so it would be extremely insightful and give context to the work that you all need to do behind the scenes all the time.
Okay.
Right, that's a lot of
So I've broken this down into different categories for us to talk about. Of essentially, what the fans see is the hour or 2 hours on stage, and they see this, they see the music videos, they see the product, etc. But what they don't see is, I've got a list here, is emails, budgeting, fixing problems, coordinating, admin, transport, schedules, troubleshooting technology. And that made me think that one of the things that can often happen, that's probably happened with more bands than you realise, is the thing that goes wrong 5 minutes before you're supposed to go on stage and you have to try and fix it. And that probably happens all the time, because it certainly happened to me a lot, and I know it's happened with our band, and Adam, you've probably experienced it with your own bands, is 5 minutes before stage, everything that went right beforehand, suddenly it isn't working anymore and nobody knows why.
Turn off bad.
It's like a technical fault.
Yeah, some sort of technical thing, some sort of wardrobe catastrophe that then gets fixed, fixed in some way.
My t-shirt has sleeves.
Exactly, like what?
Get me scissors.
No.
I need scissors.
emergency scissors needed. And so even though the band comes on with the usual confidence that you just perceive from the outside, often there's been some kind of like last minute crisis that the audience isn't party to. And I think that's something that probably happens quite a lot. Just that weird, it worked in the sound check, but it doesn't work now.
That happens quite a lot. I do spend loads of time doing stuff that's not bad. It takes me like 3 hours to edit this cast each week and then do all the thumbnails and set it all up on everything. So it's quite a lot. And then we get in the chat if we can. So it's quite a lot of time doing this. In terms of doing the website, I had to end up fixing the website until like 4 a.m. the other day, because it went down inexplicably. And then it went down again 2 days later for a different reason. But luckily I was awake to fix it.
So how do you troubleshoot something like that when it's not working? How do you even begin to go through?
Well, the second one hadn't worked because our domain name had expired, and I hadn't been notified. I hadn't been notified about it, so I was like, "Shit, buy the name back quickly."
So that's obviously something that can happen that's outside of your control.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, you have all hands on deck. How long did it take to fix something like that?
That wasn't too long. Well, it wasn't too long. I had to get technical
Just to
support
renew it.
people to help reinstate it though, because I couldn't do it myself. So that was fun. But I mean,
Cool.
luckily it went down when I was awake on the computer, and I was like, "Oh shit!" But then I can't remember what the other thing I had to fix was. The store wasn't working for some reason. But I think it's working now.
Do you have like a troubleshooting process of, okay, logically this isn't working, okay, this isn't working,
Sort
but
of.
this is working, kind of, you go through like a kind of chain of like a yes no kind of.
Yeah, normally trying to find out what the problem is that takes the best time.
Yeah.
Identifying why is it not working, and then going back.
And with the shop, the band store always looks really, really good, like
Thanks.
well presented and well organized. What's the biggest challenge with creating a store like that and upholding it, maintaining it, designing it? Like what's the big challenge for you?
It's not really the design stuff. It's more like the back end, making sure it actually works, and like people's orders go through properly, and actually, and all the information is displayed properly. You can select the right size and stuff like that. It's all the technical bits. Setting it up is hard. Designing it's quite nice. That's the fun bit. Because you design it once and then it's done, and then the rest of the time is making sure it works all the time.
Yeah, imagine there are complications about things to do with the weight of postage and
exactly
different
Well, different countries have different rules as well, don't they?
Things like that that you just don't know about unless you're actually working on it. So there's a lot of stuff, isn't there, that goes on behind the scenes like that.
I've spent quite a lot of time on recently for the viewers' interest is we've been making an EPK for our band, which is an electronic press kit, and it's basically like a pitch document that we send off to labels and promoters and stuff about Dying Black. But we made such a nice one. It's basically I ended up building a whole new website, like a website that's just about Dying Black that we send off to people that can learn about us. So
and so what's on this website? What's the why do you have to have a separate website, and what is the main kind of sections
more like
of it?
Biography. Here's our releases. This is what we're sort of looking for with the label. These are the gigs we've done. Bit of information about the podcast, stuff like that. So it's all about. It's like an about us kind of pitch document, but interactive.
And the key difference is it's got upcoming unreleased work on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why it can't be a public website.
Yes, yeah. So it's got details about the forthcoming album, a couple of tracks that labels can listen to, things like that.
And has your history of being a web designer and doing websites for other people, did that help you to sort of get into the perspective of how do I then present my own band?
Yeah, definitely, because it's like an advertising page, really. It's like advertising Dying Black. And so, because I worked with different clients and different brands before, just thought of Dying Black as a brand that I was here to promote rather than like my own band.
Ah, nice. Yeah. So you kind of almost thought from a third person's perspective of how would someone coming to this for the first time see it. And with our band, what did you think was the most important thing that someone coming to it, fresh eyes, first time, what was the most important thing that they understood like in the first 10, 20 seconds?
Yeah, well, I mentioned the fact that we've got quite a lot of pedigree from being in other bands and touring for a long time. But then also that we got a message behind our music and the positive mental health aspects of it. So I wanted people to get those two bits, really.
Yeah.
So it's like a USP
Yeah.
for the theme of the way that you approach, I guess, telling the story on the site.
Yeah.
I know you worked a lot on the language as well. And so why is it important to make sure that language was really, really specific?
I mean, it's like first impressions because it starts with a little biography of us, like a paragraph that's like a really pitch one. I want to get an idea. I want people reading it to have an idea of us in their head, and then the next bit is the music. So it's like priming them for when they hear the music. So
that's good.
It describes a bit, yeah. And then when they listen to the music, they've got that in their head.
Yeah, a bit like reading the back of a DVD or something, and then you watch the film.
Yeah, it's like a blurb.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't know, USP stands for unique selling point. What's the USP of your EPK?
Yeah, no, it's very, very posh, isn't it? That takes up a lot of time. So I've got two sort of websites.
So you have to write it in a way that is speaking directly to your audience. So it's a bit of a marketing exercise, really, isn't it?
Well, not the
totally
audience
different.
as a whole, like specifically like a label, an A&R person. Well,
so that's the audience is the A&R person, is the labels, is the people that you want to invest in you as people.
Yeah, and I
which is why
think
you have the...
Yeah, and a good approach that I think we took with this was less about, hey, come save us, we need help, and more about, we've got something really good going on, and we're looking for other really good people to work with to scale it together.
Us, not why we need you.
That's really important, actually. That's a really important distinction to make, and a really important I think, thing to talk about, so that people can understand.
Not in a cocky way, but
what
like,
it is.
it's
Well, it's the
more
same as a
confident,
job
more
interview,
confident
really,
way.
isn't it? It's how you should approach a job interview, which is, what do I bring to the table? Why do you
Yeah,
need me?
it's mutually beneficial. This is not
Yeah.
being saved by your employer. This is I'm bringing
Yeah.
stuff to help your company, and you can help me by employing me. So it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. And I think that was a good approach with this CPK, definitely.
Yeah, so that's a lot of time. And then a lot of our week is spent listening to tracks that Yanni sent us, giving feedback, working on the new album. So there's always something to do every day.
And how do you both do that when you, like, what is your routine or ritual for listening to tracks from Yanni?
Well, I try to always do any creative work before anything else, because then I can go into it just completely with the mindset of, this is the most important thing, is the music and the creation. So let's go in with a fresh kind of perspective before then going into anything to do with like admin or relations or anything else. So it's really pure. Like, I'm just focused on the music, and I'm not ruminating about, oh, hang on, but we also need to sort out that thing to do with that technical thing whilst
That's
I
really
listen.
funny.
It's just
I do
listening.
the opposite way. That's really funny.
Oh, interesting.
I get all my work done, and then I go and sit somewhere nice, and then listen to the tracks without. And then
So
I've got nothing else.
So you kind of clear the decks,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of thing.
That's really interesting.
I guess the principle behind it is the same. It's I want to listen without being influenced by other non-musical things. And so however it is you want to do that. Yeah.
That's really interesting in terms of general working, though, isn't it? It's do you want to do because there's a lot. I get both of them. I'd like to do both, really. Like, get the creative thing done in the morning when you're still like fresh from waking up, and then you've got the rest of the day to kind of, enjoy the fact that that's already happened and that you've done that, and you've got, you can walk around with spring in your step. But then also there's an element of, well, I have to do all these other things as well. And then so it's better to get those things out of the way, and then I can enjoy the rest of my day. I mean, really what we'd have is like one separate day of the week where all the admin gets done and everything else.
Yeah,
You can do
that'd be
creative
nice.
work all the time.
Yeah, that'd be
that
nice.
would be the ideal.
Well, it'd be
wouldn't
nice to only be able to do the creative stuff. Do the actual
Yeah.
music. Be in a band and actually do some music.
Yeah, and the music is generally quite a small segment of what actually happens, and it's got.
Would you say, how many days a week do you do some sort of work for Diamond Black?
Well, I mean, every day we check our Slack channels, and if there's them to reply to.
But you're listening to music from Yanni, you're making things,
Yeah.
maintaining the website, doing
Yeah, I mean, 3 days of the week I spend doing the cast.
making merch, doing the cast,
Yeah.
any of these other things. I mean, it's an everyday thing, really,
There's
isn't it?
definitely
Most
every day,
days, it's largely like 6 or 7 days a week, maybe sometimes 5.
Yeah, that's just every week. You have to do the 3 days doing the cast. So I normally film it one day, edit the next day, and then on Sunday we're in the chat. So there's
I don't think people realise that's the amount of work that it takes, especially, I mean, because you're still working on, on the album, aren't you? Largely everything's done from your side, but you're still working
by
with
the time
Yanni
it comes to Sunday and the cast comes out,
mixes.
I'm actually bored of listening to it. Because I've had to listen to it like 3 times.
By editing it.
Well, I'm obviously filming it now, so I know what we're saying. And then I have to go back through it and edit it. And then when we're watching it, when it goes out.
And what does editing entail?
It's not too much, actually, because we don't cock up that much. But it's just like going through and putting all the chapter markers in, adding the frame and the start and the intro, and then doing all the YouTube stuff and getting the thumbnail ready and all the other bits. But it just takes a while.
And you have to listen to it, because I've heard you doing it, and you listen to it like 2 times the speed or something.
Yeah, I'll try to. I try to listen to it like double speed, so I don't have to.
What we should do is talk really slowly.
But yeah, that's fun. Yes, there's a lot.
I've got some answers about the touring side of
Yeah, cool.
things. So
Oh, yeah,
the firstly, in terms of responding directly to that question, with the Sisters of Mercy, mostly it's America, for example. It's mostly tour buses. It's occasionally it'll be a flight if it's a particularly long distance from one place to another, like one coast to another, and then the gear will drive across during those days. So sometimes it means that, say you were playing in LA on Monday, you wouldn't be playing in Florida till later in the week. Then you fly to Florida, you get a few days off, and then the gear turns up on show day or whatever. But usually it's driving everywhere, and you drive overnight and then you wake up in the new place. But in South America, you tend to fly from show to show because it's different countries. And then you take some gear with you on the plane, like things that you can't just generally get, like particular guitars or computers or effects. And then you hire stuff in the countries you're going to. So you turn up and you say, we need a generic backup guitar, we need a generic 4x12 cabinet, we need this and that. So and you sort of don't know what you're going to get depending on what the infrastructure's like in the country you're going to. Sometimes you'll turn up and it'll be absolutely like perfect, better than what you have at home. And other times it'll be a bit more challenging to work with what they've been able to provide.
What's the worst thing you ever got? As in the worst like you asked for something and got something completely different,
or it doesn't turn up.
I guess, yeah.
I think there was one time. There was one time where we played in Berlin where the truck didn't turn up because there was some sort of incident because it was snowing, and it was like there was an accident and no one got hurt, but the gear was stranded, and so then they were like, yeah, well, we've had to bring you this guitar instead that you have to use, and it was this amazing gold top Les Paul Gibson. I was like, oh no, what a shame. So sometimes it actually was like, this is better than my stuff. So that's really good. But one thing I wanted to talk about was that one of the biggest struggles can be getting through customs in different countries with gear, with equipment, and how that you'll have to often pay more if it's a musical instrument, or because you're a band, you're under more scrutiny, stuff like that. And I remember there was some very, very remote airports that we were flying into, and they were very, very stringent on security. And the idea is, in a situation like that, you just want to try and you've landed in the new country, and you want to get your gear through to the other side, whatever way that you can. And there's often like a language barrier, and there's various complications. And so what had happened was that we were just like, look, just get the stuff through. Everybody takes something and we just go through. And sometimes it's a good idea to sort of break up a bit so it doesn't seem like you're a band. You're just some people with some stuff. Whereas if you all turn up together with like this mound of gear, it's like, oh yeah, band. So my personal suitcase, ended up with someone else, and we were just like working together to get it all through security. But I see this other person taking my suitcase through. They get stopped. The suitcase gets opened by security, and I'm watching all of this. Yeah, and the security goes, "Is this your suitcase?" And the other person, who for the purposes of this conversation we'll call Colin, Colin opens up my suitcase and he's like, "Yeah, this is my suitcase." And on the top this is my suitcase. And on the top of all the stuff is like this gleaming, not even in like a package thing, pair of hair straighteners, right? Now, so we lift it up.
Sees the bald.
Colin is completely bald. Yes.
You ruined it.
And so there's this moment where I'm looking, and it's like a sitcom, just this silence as a security member looks at these hair straighteners and looks at Colin, and we're like, what's going to happen now? Yes, fine, you'll go through. Just like, it was fine. It was absolutely fine. But just moments like that where suddenly you're in a situation where you have to suddenly like figure things out, and weird little mistakes like that can happen. That was a pretty good moment.
Nice.
I like that you saw that coming like a train now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it.
Didn't ruin it. That's just that's your comic instinct. You knew that was the funniest thing that could happen in that situation. You already knew what it was.
I guess when we toured with Diamond Black in Europe and stuff like that, we've always just taken a van and stuff. But even that's quite annoying because you have to get a thing called a carnet, right?
A what?
It's like a carnet. Can you explain what a carnet is, Ben?
I believe it's pronounced carnet.
Like in French
Carnet,
school,
innit?
like a carnet de vocabulaire or something.
Here, got one of the cornets or something. A cornet. A cornetto. A cornetto.
Is it a book?
Yeah, so you need
book?
to take a cornetto with you when you go. And the idea is that you have a list of all the equipment that you're bringing into the country.
Oh, I see.
And it seems to be different in terms of the gear that you're bringing and how specific you need to be. Like, say you've got a box, and in that box you've got effects pedals and cables. Do you need to say every single cable and the batteries inside and the serial numbers? Some places you do, some you don't. So it can be a bit of a bit complicated to know what you can and can't do.
It's also really expensive for bands, for smaller bands like our level. It's a really expensive thing you have to pay. It's like a declaration of, it's like some sort of customs exemption, because like you're saying you're going to take equipment to this other country, but you're not going to sell it. You're going to bring it back again. So it's like there's no import duty or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so and I think it's similar with merchandise as well. So there are all sorts of different costs involved, and a tour that on the outside, even like with big bands, that appears to be really successful, can often just about made it through, like just about hit the budget, because there are so many expenses in terms of stuff like that, as well as like paying everybody and the cost of like
accommodation and food and stuff.
Accommodation and food and petrol and tour buses themselves cost thousands of pounds per day. It is a very expensive thing, and that's why I think as was pointed out in one of the questions, Nat, that yes, it would be fantastic to come and play in the US. It would require a fairly hefty amount of funding to even get over there and tour, particularly because the cities are also very far apart as well. So unlike in England, where you can drive from show to show in a couple of hours, I remember when we did a tour there with Vincent, and I did a tour there with a band called Pig, and sometimes the drives between the tours were like 19 hours or something. And it was getting to the point where the tour manager would say, this guy had this really high pitched voice. He'd go, "Okay, guys, today I got to tell you that the drive is going to take us about 9 hours." And we were like, "Yes, 9 hours, amazing." It can be very, very like the fatigue of doing stuff like that, because traveling isn't
really tiring, isn't it? Like just sitting in a van all day, you'll be quite relaxing, but it's actually really tiring.
It's not. It's because you can't really turn off, because you are like on the go. Things are happening. You can't. You're not just like sat on a sofa reading a book. So it's sort of cognitively demanding, and it comes to the point where like the small. The kind of small gems along the way become really important, like which service station. And there's like 3 really, really good ones in the UK that are owned by the same company. One's called like Gloucester Services, one's T-Bay Services, which is
heard about this T-Bay.
And
we go there?
T-Bay is so good that people just go there for a day out. Okay? It's not just your average service station. It's got ducks. It's got like artisan flapjacks and things like that. So it will often be a highlight on a tour of, don't worry guys, in 3 days' time we'll be at T-Bay. Yes, we'll look forward to that as a bastion upon the horizon.
It also quite sucks being vegetarian, because service stations are basically all you're going to eat all the time, or like McDonald's, like after the gig, like really late. So there's not very many, even though there's some vegetarian options at these places. It's basically going to pick the same thing every day because you go to the same places.
It does. I guess it's the case if you're like, right, if they've got an M&S, then I know that they've got that particular vegetarian thing I can have. And so you have to go, okay, that's what I'm definitely going to have.
Normally McDonald's, because everyone else wants to go to McDonald's, so that's where we end up going.
But I'm sure even if you eat meat or don't, that having McDonald's, KFC or Burger King
I don't know, they always seem to think
it still
they
takes
think it's
toll.
a treat, normally. Everyone else in the band.
The first one's a treat. When I've been on the tour with you, the first one's a treat. And by the way, the vegetarian Burger King fake chicken sandwich thing, that's so good. It's just the best thing I've ever had.
But then every day is a bit annoying.
But you don't want it 2 times in a row, right? You like that's the treat. You're like, yes, Burger King. It's the only time I ever eat fast food when I'm on tour with you. And then, the next day it's like, is there a Pret? Can I get? Well, I always order like big glass of milk because I like drinking milk. But I don't. I mean, if you eat meat, it must be equally horrific having to eat McDonald's every day.
I don't know. They seem to like it.
I think most service stations have some, and it's the case. You'll be driving, and it'll tell you in advance what it has on the sign. Often. So you can say, okay, there is a Waitrose, there is an M&S,
Yeah,
so there is
when you get there.
more options. To,
We
rather
have to
than
walk
just
over a massive bridge. Is this
Yeah.
the case in the US? What about in the US when you stop at service stations? Do they have much more of an I imagine they're bigger.
Yeah, and there's a really big brand of US first service stations called Loves for some reason. And it's like
Loves.
this truck stop. It's called Loves.
Okay.
And I remember going to one of those once and just like innocuously buying something and just saying, thank you very much. And the woman behind the counter was like, oh my God, your accent. Julie, come and listen to this guy. Say it again. Say the thing again. Thank you very much. Oh my God, that's amazing. Because it was somewhere that was maybe a little bit less like of a big city, and I just remember being completely overwhelmed by enthusiasm about how I said thank you very much, as if it like Hugh Grant had turned up and was like fumbling with some coins, like oh gosh, it's just so strange. Isn't it? Yeah, so it's but yeah, they are really vast, and from my memory, it just tends to be like there's just more options for different sort of candy. But so there's the lovely truck stop. I'm sure some of our American viewers can corroborate this.
Yeah, what's your favourite service station?
But the weird thing is I found that in this is just based on my experience, is like the service stations in Europe tend to be less well equipped than some of the British ones, which is weird. It often seems like it's just like a little kind of newsagent style shop with down the end there's like a little bank of sandwiches and that's it. Sandwiches. But, it might just be that I haven't had enough experience with fabulous options in European service stations.
Yeah. What other questions?
Well, anyone in a European country can give us some tips on what if is there a tea bay in your country?
One of the things about that I think sometimes can be forgotten about touring is that when you wake up at home, you know where everything is. You know how you're going to start your first couple of hours of your it's okay. But you could do if you were more organised. You could know where everything was. Whereas when you wake up on tour, you have to spend the first part of your day just figuring out the basics of where do I brush my teeth, where do I buy a coffee, how do I get on the internet. And so it adds this sort of stack at the start of the day, which sometimes, if you're someone who can get quite anxious, can be quite disorientating because you're like, I can't even do the basic of being alive for the first few hours.
You can't really unpack your like suitcase because you're there for one night and you're moving on. So it's not.
Are you talking about sleeping on the bus or going into a hotel for one night?
Hotel or general.
A bit of both, of both really. So if you wake up on the bus and you're at the venue, then yes, you have to figure that out. But also, if you are in a hotel and it's somewhere a bit remote as well, and there's nothing close by, that can be difficult. But so it's just orienting yourself to reality on tour is the first challenge before you start thinking, how are we going to make the show better? What can we do that's creative? What can we do that's exciting for the gig?
You know how like a lot of people, especially creative people and especially musicians, can get really into the kind of geekiness of equipment and technology, right?
I've noticed that.
Where I'm going with this is, do you find that bands that you encounter and even bands you've been playing with on tour get quite geeky about how to collect and curate their equipment for on the go kind of things? Like, I'd imagine it's a place where you'd be like, oh, I've got, this folding out thing that has all my bits in it, and I've got little thing with a toothpaste, and I've got
you get pro.
Sorry?
You get like a pro setup.
Yeah, like you've got the case with the lights.
Yeah, got a makeup case.
Do you find that people can get really really geeky about their home comfort setup to make it all kind of work smoothly to alleviate some of that pressure?
You see things working differently. Like some people have opened their suitcase and it's just stuff, and it's just stuff. Other people like me, will have packing cubes, which means that you
love
can
a packing cube. Get more in
separate
it.
your. Yeah, it's so good. It means you can separate all your stuff into different categories, and it's just much quicker. You open it, you're like, right, that's there, ace, and it just makes things more convenient, particularly in if the day is going to be possibly stressful anyway because of you're in a new environment, new venue. You can go, okay, I know exactly where my stage gear is and where my toothbrush is and stuff. So yeah, there is an element of, I think they call it like luggage porn, don't they? Where it's like my suitcase is amazing and it's got this and this and this and it's really ergonomic and stuff.
I take my own pillow. I take my own pillow and a cuddly toy. That's my opinion.
Why do you take your own pillow?
Because it's really nice. So then I know I'm going to have a really nice sleep. I've got a really nice, like, expensive pillow. And it's like, I know I'm going to have a good sleep, regardless where we go.
Like a proper memory foam style one. Yeah, I agree with that. I have often taken my own pillow on tour because you just don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. It's like, it's nothing bloody worse than a pillow that's just like a thin piece of fabric with some sort of substance inside it.
So it's like something you can try and mitigate so you get a good sleep.
Like what are the things you can control? Yeah.
I do that as well because I like a really big fluffy pillow, and if it's a flat one, then I essentially sleep like with my neck backwards like that, and I get up with the neck out. I'd pile up my clothes and lie on them sooner than I would sleep flat. So that would annoy me greatly if I had to. So I'd definitely take my own pillow. I'd forego some clothes for that.
I wear clothes every day, so it's quite easy. I don't need clothes space.
I think one of the when you're on tour with a band, particularly at the level that we're currently at, it's like a travelling business, and everybody's got different duties to do. And one of the challenges is how do you figure out who does what when you turn up somewhere? And what we used to do with a previous band of mine was that we would have a spreadsheet. We would have a list that we would stick on the dressing room wall and say who is doing what. And it would be stuff like who's setting up the merch, who's getting the money for the buyout, who's getting the wristbands, who's doing the guest list. And so everybody knew exactly what they were doing. And I think that's really useful when you're an independent band, giving each member like a finite amount of tasks. I think with our band, we've got to the point where we sort of naturally seem to know who does what.
Yeah, I don't have to get the merch set up, or naturally, whoever's actually doing the merch, selling it on the night, meet up with them and we set up together. Then just make sure like the little PayPal thing works. So making sure everything works really is my
and like whoever's taking the money has got the PayPal app thing connected to stuff like that. Because and there's a cash box and there's a cash float because sometimes someone will come along and give you cash, and if you haven't got any change, it's kind of embarrassing. So
but make sure it technically works, and
pretty
much
cool.
Got some good roles.
Anything else that you may have thought about regarding touring?
Do we miss anything out of that long question?
No, I think we've got. Well, mainly it's just work that goes on behind the scenes, planning, logistics. There's that communication. Actually, the element of like each band member sort of has a set of tasks and they know what they're doing, and then that kind of it's teamwork, really, isn't it? It's the same as just the teamwork of being in a band playing. You all rely on each other to play the song and creatively input into the music, but then also it's the actual logistics and of the running of any sort of event that you need to all work together on.
I like to go and have a little walk around where we're playing as well. So I'll try and get the merch set up as quickly as we can. Then it gives me a couple of hours to go for a little wander and explore where we're playing. So I like to actually see the place, the towns and cities we're playing in.
Do you find that keeps you grounded?
It's just fun. I like travelling. I like exploring, so I get to combine a lot of my passions at once.
Yeah, and when you are on a tour for a number of dates in a row, you start to recognise the rhythm of it. And when there are times for you to take time for yourself and do things like go for a walk, one thing that I was always trying to do where on I think the previous tour that we did was after we'd brought our stuff in, I would always go off and find somewhere to get like some proper food by myself and just like spend some time alone. And I would also use that time to think about what am I going to say on stage tonight between the songs? Is there something different about tonight that means that we need to modify this in some way? Has the set list changed? Is there someone who we're bringing on stage? Is there someone in the audience perhaps that tonight is relevant? And so having those times to really just think about what's happening next. And whereas I suppose when you're in a huge band, you've got all day to do that, and then you just turn up half an hour before stage time.
Yeah, we get other people to do all the setup for you, don't you?
Yeah. So it's sort of, I guess it varies from which particular scale you're touring on. When do you find those times to do that stuff?
So
I don't know
it's
if you'd
really
have more
important
free
to you.
time if you like got people to set up everything for you, because you've probably got more press you have to do, or meet and greets and stuff like that. Your time's
That's
probably taken
true,
up
yeah.
with other things.
Yeah. I guess it's up to you, because like some artists don't want to do any of that stuff, and some do loads of it. So some artists will do like another gig during the day. They'll go, right, we're going to go and do an acoustic show at this record store, and before the main show in the evening. So yeah, just
That'd be fun.
people will take advantage of the situation in different ways.
That's one way of seeing the area that you're in, I guess.
Well, it's just two
Yeah.
gigs.
Yeah, rock up in the morning, go and do an acoustic show somewhere,
Yeah.
and then talk to some people there, do a meet and greet, and then go to the actual gig.
That'd be wicked.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Well, have we covered everything?
Cool. So I know that, Ben, you had some bits you wanted to talk about in terms of doing some mindfulness and gratitude work this week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so a few things that I've been doing this week is that I've been reading a book, and every morning there's a different sort of thing to feel grateful for, and it's really good because it's helping me to feel more grounded and grateful for things that I already have, and then you can just start to feel calmer and more happy because you recognize that you already have a lot of things that are very valuable to you in your life. Whereas I think what we tend to spend a lot of time doing is thinking about all the things we don't have and that we want to have. And so part of it is that each day there's a different sort of thing to focus on. And one of the things that it was asking to focus on was about your own health and your like mobility and your senses and stuff. And I had a day when I was out and I was really thinking about my senses, and it was incredible. It was like suddenly it was sensory overload of, oh my God, as a person I can see and hear and like feel so many things. This is amazing. It was almost a bit like this overwhelming. And just having those
Great
sort of
being a human being, isn't it?
yeah. And I almost thought, like, what even am I? I'm this like strange sentient creature that is able to like be aware of things. It was really cool. And so what I've been doing is I've got this like luminous wristband here. And so what that reminds me to do is every day, whatever it is I'm focusing gratitude on, is to remind me in everyday situations, okay, I might feel a bit scared or upset or something now. Let's reframe this and think about the good in the situation. And I was in the gym this morning and I was chatting to this person for the first time, and this person had some sort of condition that made it really hard for them to speak. And I suddenly was like, isn't it such an incredible blessing to be able to think of what you want to say and then say it? And the same as if you want to pick something up and you can just do it. And that's something that for some people is really hard. And it really made me reappreciate that just being able to think something and then express it is a gift. So yeah, that's something that I've found has been helping me during the last few weeks of feeling more grounded and more grateful for
I think
the
gratitude
things that
is
we already
gratitude
have.
is like the medicine. It's like the counter to a lot of things.
Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
important.
I think
Even,
it's almost
even if everything seems really shit, there's some things you should try and think.
Think of 5 things that you're grateful
Yeah.
for, even if everything around you feel bad about.
Yeah.
Think you can still name 5 things that you're grateful for,
that's right. Yeah,
and then
you know,
it's a beginning. It's a building block for feeling better and for looking at approaching things differently, and then you also are received by others in a different way.
that's right. Yeah. So excellent, good stuff. 5 things I like it.
Nice.
Yeah. So you just think of them or write them down or whatever. It's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what are you both grateful for this week then?
I'm grateful for doing this podcast and for people watching it. It's lovely. It's a lovely fun. Even though I moan about editing it, it's lovely to do.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a really really good thing to consider is that, you know, sometimes the things that we take for granted are actually, you look back and go, well, why is this even happening? And why this podcast is happening is because we're lucky enough to have put a band together, to have created things together, to have then created something that people like and care about and then want to watch and show up. And It's amazing. That's really fantastic, and it's important to remember that along the way, because there are always going to be challenges to keep things running.
Yeah.
What about you, Nat? What do you feel grateful for?
All of your guys' efforts in making this band happen. We've just heard on this show, just how much effort and work goes into it. How much it's not just about over 73 episodes. We've heard about the effort that goes into the creativity of maybe writing songs and writing lyrics and coming up with the creative function to do it. And then now it's also all of this other stuff that comes up behind the scenes, and you are working on this like most days. Not necessarily every day, not all day, sorry, but most days it's still something. It's something that's part of you, and in doing so, you can make this podcast. You've got a lovely community of people who watch it, who support, and have got to know each other because of this, which is lovely, really. And I'm also grateful for this nice weather. Because it was rubbish at the beginning of the week.
Nice loop back to the beginning. Cool.
Okay, so please join us over on Patreon if you're subscribed. If you're not, you should, because it's good. We're going to have a quick discussion about short stories. Yeah, and also don't forget to tell us what you're grateful for this week, and if everything seems a little bit overwhelming or a little bit sad or despairing, just think of 5 things you're grateful for, and they could be anything.
Nice.
And maybe you'll feel better.
Nice. All right.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye. Like and subscribe.
It was a good.
Really good.